I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good day, Andy Wang. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful day?
Angel, I am doing great. I'm here in New Jersey where it is a cool, clear day.
Hey, it's a great pleasure to connect with you. Which of your talents, Andy, is responsible for us connecting?
Well, that's a great question. I've been an investment advisor for nearly 20 years, and I'm the host of a new podcast called Inspired Money. I think we're meeting because I've been eating, drinking, and breathing the subject of podcasting for the past few months. But if you want to single out a talent, I'd say that it's really a focus to approach everything that I do with a very strong desire to do it well.
Yeah, definitely sounded that way on the podcast. Got to listen to the podcast. Pretty amazing stuff.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're doing pretty awesome. Now, you just got over episode 12, which is our favorite number here. All right.
Right.
But yeah, love it. I think the statistic is 7 or 3. I'm hearing different numbers where people usually pod feed. Yeah. So well done.
Well, thank you. Yeah. With podcasting, I think it is not easy. Podcasting is hard. And it doesn't matter where you set your milestones. Each episode is its own milestone.
You're very correct.
I can only aspire to be like you and eventually hit 1,500 plus.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't advise that for anyone who definitely doesn't have a passion.
Exactly. Well, that's what it comes down to, passion.
Yeah, I think definitely you exist in your thing that brings you joy, and then you go for it. And you could definitely do that. But keep doing what you're doing because it is bringing value as is. So where did the inspiration come for Inspired Money?
That is a great question. Well, it goes back to being an investment advisor for so many years, working with people, helping them with their money, helping them to retire and to save and to grow their money. But I guess in the past 2 years, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I love listening to podcasts and trying to feed my brain when I'm driving to and from work, when I'm washing the dishes. So one day I had the epiphany, why not try and launch my own podcast? I thought it would give me a good excuse to talk to lots of interesting people and learn myself. So I started, and the key is to keep going. So hopefully I can do that.
Yeah, and hey, I'm getting to speak with you now, so I'm really glad you did act on your thought.
Exactly, it's all related.
It is.
The pleasure is mine being able to speak to you and to meet you here on your show.
Yeah. Well, tell me, now that you've started and now that you've decided that you're going to keep on going, what is one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years?
Well, my avocation is playing the guitar. I think you saw on my Twitter profile or in LinkedIn that I'm holding an ukulele.
Yeah.
I've been playing guitar for about 27 years and performing Hawaiian slack key guitar for about 14. I love music. And so it's been more than 3 years, but definitely something that I do consistently, because when I go home, these days I'm watching less and less TV, but I'll always pick up the instrument, and whether it's just picking a song for fun or sitting down more seriously trying to learn something. I've been doing that very consistently.
How does that make you feel?
Well, playing guitar is great. Music is a universal language, and it connects people. For me, because I'm studying Hawaiian music, I've learned about an indigenous culture, and also because of the music and that I get to perform in the New York area. There are not that many Hawaiian musicians here in New York, maybe a handful.
Yeah.
So it's afforded me opportunities to perform at somebody's wedding or very personal and special events. And I've met amazing people because of the music.
I can well imagine. Why would you suggest to someone that's listening that they do something similar to what you've done by putting in that that vent, if you would, that expression, that extra creativity.
Well, I think it comes down to playing an instrument teaches us so many great lessons about discipline, focus, and grit. It's really taught me how to trust a process because you don't try to learn a song and then tomorrow and play it perfectly. It really is about a process and being consistent and learning over time. Like many days, it feels like you haven't learned anything, but a month later, a year later, years later, you say, okay, I did improve, even though sometimes it came quickly, sometimes it came slow, but over time, it does make a difference. So, and then the other thing is for me is that I never aspired to play outside of my living room. I used to have the worst stage fright. My hands would shake. I'd be so nervous.
Wow.
And I had no desire to play in front of other people. But like I said, since there are not too many Hawaiian musicians here in New York and New Jersey, I've had opportunities to play. And I decided that if people are going to ask me, I will try to share. I'll do the very best to share what I can play.
Well, that's amazing how you've stepped out from in small steps, right? And now you're playing in front of an audience, right?
Yeah. It blows my mind. I mean, I've had opportunities to be the opening act for friends of mine who are professional musicians from Hawaii. So yes, I went from not wanting to play in front of anybody to being able to play solo all by myself on stage in front of hundreds of people.
Wow, amazing. Well, amazing audience. We are live with Andy Wang. Hey, you could definitely check him out. He has an amazing podcast as well. Fresh out of the block, right? If you would. But hey, Andy, keep doing what you're doing. You can connect with him on Inspired Money. What's the website you'll send us to if we needed to get
the
more?
Website is very easy. It's inspiredmoney.fm.
There we go. Well, Andy Wang, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water.
Ooh, I like that.
Andy, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Well, it's funny that you should mention the Caribbean blue water. It's a different blue water. My earliest childhood memory is going to Bermuda to visit my grandparents. And I remember very clearly the layout of their house.
Interesting. How old do you think you were?
I think I was around 3 or 4 years old. It was definitely my first time going on an airplane to visit any destination.
So why do you think this memory is so clear?
Part of it is because first time on a plane and it's a big event, but then it's family. That's where my mother's parents lived for many years. So I have fond memories of going there, visiting them, staying at their house, going fishing. I remember my grandfather playing Monster with us and chasing us around his house. There was one time when he put a lampshade over his head and he chased me and my brother around. So yeah, very fond memories. And I'm sure that the weather and the beauty of the pink sand, Horseshoe Bay, has something to do with it too.
Yeah, that's definitely. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Absolutely.
I love the idea of how you how you graduate into something that may be challenging. I'm not sure if you've put your finger on it, but it's really fascinating to see how those that surround you create the platform for you to move forward. So, it's you're doing the practice, but then the friends invite you, right? And then you travel to the place, and then it's awkward, and then it's scary, and then you do it. And it's just intriguing connecting that back to when you were journeying to Bermuda. And I'm guessing it would have been a bit challenging, right? Like, this new place I'm going to. But the family and those that surrounded you and the support seems to be a really nice jumping block, if you would, for you to move on. Yeah,
definitely. I think I like your interpretation. It really goes to show that those who you surround yourself by and that's important. But then it's like, what kind of process takes place so that you advance?
Yeah, it's advance. That is the word, advance. If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
I love this question. I had to think about like how many years ago I was 12, but definitely Weird Al Yankovic's parody song, Eat It.
Yeah. Jitters.
There are so many great songs, so it's tough to choose. But in my personal opinion, I think that Weird Al Yankovic is a genius.
You had someone on recently, right, who played guitars with him?
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I didn't want to I didn't want to push my own show too much, but yes,
No, it's all about you.
my first podcast guest was Jim Chemo West, and he's the longtime guitarist in Weird Al's band, and I've become very good friends with him because he also has a passion for Hawaiian music, but. Yeah, it's funny, just the way, I guess maybe the world is so small, and maybe that's serendipity too, because when I was in 4th grade, I loved Weird Al's song Eat It, and then many, many years later, became good friends with the guitarist who's been in the band for over 25 years.
It's just absolutely amazing.
So I've had the opportunity to meet Weird Al, to see him in concert, to visit the recording studio when the band was recording. So yeah, I remain a big fan. So I can honestly say 12 years old, that was a favorite song, and it still is today.
Love it. Wow. All connects.
It all connects.
Boomerang.
It all connects.
Well, Andy, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more.
Okay.
We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Andy, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Definitely my 3 children.
Are you married?
Yes, I am. Okay. Happily for 15 years.
Wow, congratulations. So you have 3 children, boys and girls?
2 girls with a boy in the middle.
All right. Do you believe in God?
I do.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I do have an inner circle of friends. Although I got to say, as I get older, you don't get to see your inner circle of friends as often as you'd like, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing we have tech, so we're going to beat that, right? With Zoom.us.
That's right, exactly. I'll see them online.
Yeah. But I understand what you mean, because the in-person meetings are so treasured. Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
I do not. My wife would tell you that I watch too much TV, but I think the podcasting has definitely taken away from my TV watching. I have not watched any TV.
Wow. Yeah, you sounded like you were speaking to her. I have not watched any TV.
Oh, I've watched before, but it's a lot less these days.
That's one. What does it look like for a week?
How much per week?
Yeah. Average.
Oh my gosh. It feels like an hour.
Okay. All right. Well, that's definitely a lot less. Wow.
Not much.
Yeah.
We cut the cord too, so I don't have cable TV anymore.
That's
one
also
way. Part of it.
Yeah, that's one way. And what about screen time? The phone and or the computer, is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Well, yeah. See, I am not. I haven't gone to the stone ages. While I'm not watching TV, I'm definitely on. I have screen time more than 8 hours a day.
All right. Well, Andy, if you had to share with us, my friend, a statement that represents who you are, your own unique little statement, what would you say that is?
Well, I'm going to come up with this right on the spot, and part of it is related to our discussion. It's do it first, then figure out how to do it well.
Love it. It's what
because you have to take that leap. It's all about taking that leap and doing something that makes you uncomfortable or something that scares you.
Love it. Hey, Andy, this was a great pleasure, my friend. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I just want to thank you for allowing me to be on the 12-minute conversation and to encourage people to please visit inspiredmoney.fm, give the show a listen, and please let me know what you think because I very much want to improve the show and make it the best possible.
Great conversations going on right there. Andy Wang, hey, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you, Angel.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.